General Lo, thank you so much for this interview with DW. So the Air Defender 2023 exercise will start now. What is it about?
Air Defender 2023 is a large-scale readiness exercise about how we deliver air power into Europe. It is hosted by the German Air Force. And so the German Air Force host wants to test our ability to come together and be fully interoperable. And so this exercise is how we test the determination and will of the United States as well as the will of 25 partner nations to come together to deliver air power. It's about leading with air power. For the Air National Guard in particular, we've already started transatlantic movements. Okay, we've delivered over 3 million pounds of cargo. We've done air refueling operations that have delivered over 1 million pounds of fuel in the air. We have 84 aircraft already in country and a little over 1,600 airmen. And during the next couple days, we will actually get about 1,000 more airmen in country. And then we'll start the large-scale readiness exercise promptly on Friday and have it run for about 2 weeks.
Why is it a German-led exercise?
I think part of it was Germany came to the United States Air Force and the Air National Guard about 2 years ago about leading with air power. And so the German Luftwaffe came in there and they decided to become a host. And so when Germany decided to lead it, we were in full support, obviously, as one of our strongest allies and partners, and obviously our partner in NATO. And they've conducted operations with us for decades now. And so it was easy for us to decide to come and support the German Air Force.
You're saying that the first idea came 2 years ago, but the war in Ukraine started about a year ago. Was this perhaps the last piece to let the exercise start?
I don't think it really has any bearing on that. And actually, when you look at it, you're talking about February 24th. We're 470 days in to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I mean, I check on it every day. And I really feel for the people of Ukraine. But their determination and their will to be free is absolutely spectacular. So that's the first part of it. This one, however, started even before that. I mean, we as the Air National Guard got involved a little over 2 years ago, but this was all about how we increase the readiness of our forces, how we increase the interoperability of NATO forces and air power forces, and how we bring this together. I think the only thing that maybe the war in Ukraine and the war in Russia has done is coalesced the Western Alliance, coalesced NATO, coalesced the free world to come together and exercise together in Air Defender 2023.
The U.S. is deploying more than 100 fighter jets to Germany, among them also F-16 fighter jets, and Ukraine wants those. Are they staying there in Europe?
No, our F-16s and the Air National Guard will be coming back to the United States at the Air National Guard. However, we are supplementing our permanent U.S. bases over there. So we have F-16s, as you know, both at Aviano Air Base and also at Spangdahlem Air Base. So by bringing not only F-16s over there, F-35s, F-15s, A-10s, we're going to do fighter integration with also the Germans and Eurofighters, Gripens, and other coalition F-35s. So like the Dutch coming in there to also do that. So we're going to do both 5th gen and 4th gen fighter integration in a meaningful manner.
Do you think it's about time for Ukraine to receive the fighter jets they're asking for, and they have been asking for months?
Well, actually, so the president has made it clear that we will support Ukrainian getting F-16s. And so the NATO countries are coming together to actually see how that's going to be. We're in the planning stages, and I'd say probably in advanced planning stages of when and how that is going to happen.
So there's no date yet?
Not that that I know of, no.
Thank you so much, General Lo.
Oh, you bet. Thank you.
Thank you. General Gerhards, thank you so much for this interview with DW. Tell us a bit more about Air Defender 2023. It's starting now. A couple of airplanes are being transported and transferred now to Germany. How is this working?
Yeah, with the exercise Air Defender 2023, we want to demonstrate, we want to show we are able to defend our alliance. And for that, the transatlantic link is really, really important. And now almost 100 aircraft coming from the US to Germany. Overall, we have 25 nations, 250 aircraft. The US Air National Guard just finished their deployment, so all the jets are now in place. The exercise will start on Monday. And if you see the part of the deployment, so the dimension, how many aircraft we deploy, it is the largest deployment exercise since the foundation of NATO. Up to now, it is running really, really well. It's a big logistical challenge. We feel as host, it's a NATO exercise in those terms that a lot of NATO nations participate, but Germany is leading this exercise. So Germany is standing up and taking responsibility, especially what people in the US are looking for, that we take much more responsibility.
You just said it yourself, it's a huge exercise. It's almost historic since the foundation of the NATO.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it happening right now? Is there also a symbolic behind it?
I proposed this exercise 2018 here in the US after taking over the Air Force as chief of the Air Force. So that was already my perception after what happened in Crimea, that Russia invaded Crimea. We knew, okay, we have to much more refocus on the way how to defend the alliance. I mean, we were for decades abroad. We were in Afghanistan, that was our focus, but now we had to refocus much more to a scenario like an Article 5 scenario, where we have to defend the alliance. And then, especially when after Russia started the war in Ukraine, a lot of nations came to us. Oh wow, that's a good exercise. We can show, not really against Russia, we can show to ourselves that we are able to defend the alliance, and we want to be part of it.
But if you're saying that especially after Russia invaded Ukraine, countries were coming towards you saying this is an interesting exercise, it sounds almost like it is a kind of showing a symbol towards Russia.
Yeah. What the difference before the war and after the war got started concerning this exercise is much more what our Eastern partner want. They asked for those reassurance missions, that they asked, okay, please come to Poland, the Baltics, to Romania, just fly in, do a mission here and fly back to reassure that we are part of this defensive alliance.
So they feel more protected also with this exercise.
Exactly, and that what we are doing now since the 24th of February last year. We are flying continuously along the eastern border to show, okay, in NATO territory, that is the red line, and in case of, we are willing to defend every inch of it.
Now, more than 100 airplanes are being deployed to Germany, among them also F-16s. We have heard about these airplanes a lot lately because Ukraine wants these airplanes, these fighter jets. Is it now finally the time for Ukraine to get these air jets? Are the air jets staying there?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite obvious that if you look for fighter jets, F-16 is a good option because there's so many out there. You have spare parts, a lot of spare parts. They are relatively easy to maintain, and especially in Europe, there are a lot of countries right now which are converting from F-16 to F-35, so they could give F-16 away. And right now there are discussions about the coalition, who is doing the training, where are doing those nations the training, and mainly it's the F-16 nations, but even the other nations, they can support in ground training, pilot training, and I'm quite sure in the next weeks we will see political decisions who is participating in this F-16 coalition.
One more question about the German population. You have been talking also to them, right?
What really changed, you know this expression Zeitenwende, this turning point, that is not even like the Chancellor is calling for a Zeitenwende. It's as well in the public, that public opinion sees, wow, it is much more important that we are able to defend. And what I see, we might have restrictions in civilian air traffic. I mean, we are already in the summer, we are still ahead of the summer school holidays, but there might be flight delays. We do everything to minimize. And I see a lot of people say, oh wow, there might be a delay of my flight to whatever country, so they are affected. But on the other hand, they say it is the right time to do this exercise to show us as civil society that you are able to defend us in case of.
Are you surprised about this reaction in Germany? Would you have thought a couple of years ago that Germans, people living in Germany, would react that way?
I mean, nobody could have imagined that we will have a war in Europe. So now it is quite obvious that people feel threatened, and we have to modernize and do much more for our defense.
Thank you so much, General.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.